Alrighty then. What's up, yins guys? Time for another video. I'm gonna bring this topic up again. I did a video about this a while back, but I got in the mood to talk about it again because a good friend of mine, her fiance, which was a hell of a guy, I got to talking to him, and he does like a restaurant work, and he works at a particular restaurant, put it that way. You guys don't know who or where it is, don't matter. Just for my point, I was telling him about this, and we were talking about how people expect you to just get a job or whatever, and particular restaurant, it sparked an old memory. Even though it was 25 years ago, the owner of the particular restaurant, I even told my friend and her fiance, I don't hate the guy, no animosity, even though I regarded him as kind of an asshole. I understood why he acted the way he did and can excuse it in his way. Okay, this is a point, okay, even any of you guys watching, I might wager any of you guys watching that are lurkers that don't like me, you could probably relate to this. For example, I want to make this for everybody. For example, if your resume consisted of a particular kind of job that you worked for years, and say anything happened, you get laid off, a company closes. For example, my thing was industrial work. I did it all through my 20s. And then, like in Western Pennsylvania, certain factory jobs, you're out of minimum wage and you're walking around like a $1 million man, Ted DiBiase, and then next day you're laid off and they're closing up shop, and you try to find, it takes a little while to find another job similar again, and you still end up working for a lower wage, even if it's another factory. But in the meantime, during all the time after your unemployment runs out, for example, people go try to act like you don't want to get a job or something. Oh, there's these restaurants, oh, they're hiring and everything. But if you're in one particular field of work in your resume, they look at you funny, and they know, even though you can say they're assholes, they're not stupid. They know damn why you're there. Oh, and they don't cut you a break. They don't give a damn. They'll tell you one thing why they're not hiring you. But you know what? You know, you ever play that? There's stand-up comedians, both black and white, that will tell people a particular thing, and but what they mean is, well, in this guy's case, before I tell the story, it's when he told the thing he told me. He might as well just said, oh yeah, I know why you're here. Any job you can get. Yeah, all industrial work in your resume. He might as well went ahead and said, oh, fuck you. You think you're going to use me until you get one of those jobs that are actually on your resume, then you're out of here? Well, fuck you. I'm not hiring you. But what he actually said, okay, when I was just, I figure, yeah, you do, so you don't get accused of not looking for a job, and sometimes you may have to take something lesser, show the world that, yeah, you're not avoid getting a job, and you're reluctant, but sometimes things get tight and you got to pay the bills and you're trying. And they don't commend you for trying. And oh, if you're, I'm not into that race baiting bullshit, but if you're black and you're a friend of mine, yes, it could be discrimination in a way if you're one of the better black folk, because you got friends that way. But at the same time, yeah, you're white, it's white on white discrimination too. There's different types of discrimination, and outright they don't give a fuck. Anyway, it don't, if you're black and if you're like you're black and you happen to have the personality of a friend of mine, it may not necessarily be racial, even though it looks that way, you might feel that way. You might be, say, like me and the rest of us, a particular thing that you got in your resume, and then, well, you're trying to get a job because you got to pay the bills, and it's not stuff that matches your resume. They're assholes, right? But contrary to people judging everybody else that says, oh yeah, you can get a job, people are hiring and this and that, they don't have to fucking hire you. They're not obligated. Like, for example, if you're black or white and you had all this industrial work, right, and you're going to try to go get fast food or a restaurant or a Walmart, you'll get that look. Whether you're black or white, you get that same look, whether it's racial or white on white discrimination. And they do not give you any points for, oh yeah, you at least you're trying to look for a job right away. No. When they see a certain thing on your resume and you're applying to their particular thing, in their mind, they already have the attitude. It's just the body language and the look on their face. Even though they're like, their look on your face is like, oh, the hell with you, F you. I'm not, because you're just going to get as soon as you get called for a job in the industrial sector that's in your resume, you're going to just walk right out. So the hell with you. That's what they think. Some people think it's that easy to just get a job. But anyway, this I told this story to a friend of mine and her fiance, because he worked at a particular restaurant. That particular restaurant that he works at, I told him, the owner, I told him I don't hate the guy. It's been over 20 years. And matter of fact, even though I was like, I have a little, don't hate him per se, but I regarded him as an asshole because he basically, you know, oh yeah, what he did in my part of the story, what he did was, I can tell by the look on his face, he saw what was on my resume. And I didn't put on the application, I left out the amount I made per hour. Yes, I was out of minimum wage and I worked this one industrial job for many years. And my rationale was, hey, I'm not like everybody else I know when I'm applying to this guy's particular work. I'm going to have to work for whatever wage he's paying. I knew that the minute I walked in there. But he goes, oh, why'd you leave out, Oda, in your last job you worked the amount per hour you made? I said, what does it matter? And he said, and he gets it out of me. And of course it was a little bit more than what he's paying. And he goes, no, I'm not hiring you. I can't compete with that. That was his actual words, but he gives me this look. And I try to go and explain to him. I says, I left that out because I didn't, and I go, I don't expect you to pay that. And I was trying to say that. I didn't even get the sentence completely out. And he cuts me off and interrupts me and says what he says again. And I even trip one more time and says what, and he's like, I don't want to hear it, and told me to just go, go and go. And he has this look on his face. But yeah, I had a reason to hate him, but I still don't hate him. I don't hate him really, I kind of forgiven him. It's like, I still regard him back then as kind of an asshole. But at the same time, it was his prerogative. You know why? Because if you have a particular thing in your resume that don't match what they really want, they don't have to hire you. The person could be an asshole about it, but hate to say it, whether you're black or white, they don't. That's what they do. And what I didn't like, what I regard them as rude, is I'm not allowed to cut. I couldn't cut him off while he was talking, and then I'd get hell for that. But he cut me off in the middle of a sentence. But he's basically like people like this. Well, even people that you were working for in some factories, a supervisor does this. Oh, I can cut. This is my place, my rules. I run things here. I can cut you off mid-sentence multiple times and not let you get a certain word in. And because it's my place, my rules. But don't you ever cut me off in the middle of a sentence, because I have this privilege, because I have godlike powers. Even though that is my attitude, I don't hate the person or wish him to burn in any hell, or don't wish him his business to ever fail or anything. So anyway, I got on the subject of another video before, because the pandemic was when the pandemic was over. You guys remember the pandemic? Oh, all kind of restaurants, even fast food. Oh, they were begging to hire people, almost anyone. And even though that was years ago, what I was talking about, of course that's over now, no animosity. But even despite what I said, there's no animosity. I don't wish bad on him, even though I regard him an asshole, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, pandemic comes along, and people like that and these other places, oh, they're begging to hire people. And in my head, I'm looking at this all on social media, and there's these people talking their shit on social media. Oh, there's all these jobs up here people don't want to work. And my thing, I even said to certain people on social media, I told them kind of a small version of that story. I'm like, oh yeah, about the guy, what I just told you right now. And I'm like, oh, even if it's like 25 years later, pandemic comes along, people with that attitude, when you go to apply to their place, pandemic happens and, oh, they need people to work real badly now because of their business. And like, oh, they're looking to hire, but anyway, 20 plus years ago, they don't count on 20 years ago later a pandemic happened, and the way they treat certain people applying to their businesses, right? I never dreamed like, oh yeah, people that treat me like that and talk down to me like that they were ever gonna, they may need me someday. Maybe not. It's not just about me, but about maybe anybody else, both black or white, that has a story like this, right? To understand what I just said right now, if you're black or white watching this, and if maybe a bunch of years the same shit happened to you, I'm not saying it to cry, oh, woe me. Matter of fact, I regard him as an asshole and I forgive him, and it's their prerogative. And there's people I worked with talk about this, they call it overqualified. I don't think overqualified is the word, it's a weird word. There's a whole video you could make on that, but yeah, anybody, I don't care who you were watching watching this video, it's like, you'd never think that, wow, yep, they might need you someday. I never dreamed that we had a pandemic and, yep, there was all these kind of people with that attitude, godlike powers in their business, even though it's their prerogative, talk down to a person and cut you off mid-sentence. Then maybe, hey, even though it took maybe 20 years, oh, they were desperate to hire people because when the pandemic, it slowed down, people were getting less sick and yada yada. So that was my attitude about it, you know what I mean? People are weird, but if you got this far in this video, you can regard somebody as an asshole, but yet forgive them at the same time and understand. You can regard somebody as an asshole, but yet forgive them, because my beliefs are a combination of beliefs that I might have explained or indicated in particular videos. That, yeah, you can think somebody's an asshole and forgive to a point and understand a particular thing, that they really don't have to hire somebody that's it has something different in their resume than what they are looking for, but yet they don't have to be an asshole about it. But it's not like you have any animosity after a bunch of years, but it is a story to tell nonetheless, and a story that should be told, that people are like that and they're assholes about it, you know what I mean? And whether you're black or white, you can, like I said, if you're black and you're somebody like a friend of mine, maybe it's color discrimination, maybe not, but even though you're black, it can very well be you have something on your resume like industrial work, and you try to go and apply to a Walmart or a restaurant, and whether it's like whether you're black and white, their attitude, what they mean when they turn you down and they're asshole about it, what they mean is, fuck you, you're not using me to pass time until you get called for another job in your field. You're not using me for that, fuck you. And that's what they mean. What they mean is that, you know what I'm saying?